My name is Kuduzo Kumende. It is my great pleasure to have you all here today as welcome to discuss the critical parts of which is the role of teachers in embracing diversity in the 21st century classroom. This discussion reflects on the complex roles of teachers in embracing diversity in the 21st century classroom by drawing the framework provided by the Department of Basic Education. This reflection explores the ways in which teachers can create a welcoming and inclusive, culturally responsive learning environment that supports the academic, social, and emotional growth of all learners. So here, I've got my colleagues, and I would like to call upon Mr. Mata to elaborate on the topic. Over to you, Mr. Mata.
I would like to thank Mr. Kumete. As Mr. Kumete said, I am Mr. Mata, and I will be talking about views on diversity currently in school. In school, diversity is mainly supporting the idea that having a diverse student population, and it is essential for promoting critical thinking and cultural awareness. Then we have the advantages of diversity in education. Diversity improves learners' experiences. Students enhance their critical thinking and cultivate empathy. Another advantage is that it is social readiness. For example, it promotes teamwork. We also have the challenges concerning diversity in school, which include teacher training. Teachers might need more training to handle diversity in the classroom and to tackle potential biases. I would like to hand over to Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Mata. As Mr. Mata said, I'm Mr. Tole, and I would like to talk more about how do you as a teacher apply the role of diversity in a classroom. Having a diversity group of learners in a classroom simply means recognizing that people are unique on their own. When we look into a classroom, we observe that there are learners coming from different backgrounds such as languages, cultural, socio-economic issues. All these learners come from school with their own experiences. As a teacher, it is important to play a major role in diversity. It is important to play a major role in diversity classroom by creating an inclusive learning environment for all learners. I'd like to hand over to Ms.
As Ms. Tola stated, I am Ms. Baba. I will continue on what Ms. Tola has stated. As we know, every teacher needs to understand that the most significant way to respond to learner diversity in the classroom is through the curriculum. We are all aware that the South African schools have a wide range of learners from different backgrounds. Educators and learners should value, embrace, and make a positive use of the differences. As a teacher, I am always prepared to address and resolve conflicts that may arise due to social, cultural, and personal differences, promoting a respectful and inclusive classroom environment. For example, on cultural differences, we have different types of race, ethnicity, religion, and language. I would also like to thank you all for the opportunity, and I would like to hand it over to Ms. Njingila.
Thank you, Ms. Baba. I would like to elaborate further on the challenges teachers face in the classroom. The first challenge is language. Teachers may not be proficient in languages learners speak in the classroom, which makes it very challenging for the teachers who will interact with other learners in the classroom, and this may result in misconception and misunderstandings. Another challenge is teamwork and collaboration, which would be affected due to student differences. Collaboration needs learners to interact in the classroom, and they may not be able to do so because they do not understand each other. The teacher will be in a very tight position because of this, and we have to teach learners to learn to collaborate first before they actually get into the topic. Thank you. I'd like to call over Mr. Ntambu to come and elaborate further on this topic.
Thank you very much, Ms. Njingila. Just to add on what Ms. Njingila has said earlier on the challenges the teachers face. Another challenge is the access to technology. Technology is a huge factor in schools particularly in the rural areas. We know that rural areas schools they lack facilities to provide technology or to give access to children information. Secondly, socio-economic. In South Africa, we have a very low
we have a high level of inequality and therefore learners who come from lower income backgrounds. This may result in them not being able to fulfill their dreams because they lack basic needs and all of that. Thank you. I would now like to hand over an opportunity to Ms. Dog.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tambo, for the warm welcome. I will be touching on opportunities in your role as a teacher to accommodate a diverse classroom. We'll be looking at three main points. Namely, it is the role of a mediator, the role of a leader/administrator or a manager, and then lastly, the role of a assessor. As one would know that the role of a mediator, it is to allow teachers to be able to handle and mediate teaching as well as its activities. This role promotes cultural awareness, and an example to that is having a teacher in a classroom dealing with topics related to race, religion, and culture. And then moving along to the role of a leader/administrator or a manager. Their role is to allow teachers to be able to make decisions that will be fruitful to not only just learners but to the whole education or teaching process. An example to that will be teachers considering learners' economic and cultural backgrounds. And then lastly, the role of an assessor. The role of an assessor is to acknowledge learners' individual differences, doing that by using methods that will be appealing to learners. And an example to that is assessments must be formulated in a way that also gifted learners may be able to progress. I thank you. Allow me to call upon my colleague, Mr. Vilani. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lomo. I'll be discussing the roles that a teacher can implement to create a diverse classroom environment. So there are many examples that can be implemented in the classroom, but for the purpose of this presentation, we're going to look at three examples. A teacher can implement differentiation, which simply means customizing the instruction to meet the unique needs of every learner by using different teaching methods, materials, and assessments, which will help learners with different learning styles to adapt to that. For example, in a class whereby a teacher is teaching reproduction in life sciences, the teacher can use visual aids for the learners to see what the teacher is talking about. The teacher can also use video resources so that the learners can see the processes that take place within reproduction. So this helps learners to grasp and understand what is being taught, ensuring that no student is left behind. I'll then pass this opportunity to my fellow colleague, Ms. Ngobeni.
Thank you, Mr. Vilani, for giving it over to me. I'd like to carry on where you left. Looking at the examples that we've covered, I'd like to add to it. My first example will be the teacher can act as a facilitator. This can encourage group discussion. For example, the teacher can give learners a group assignment where they're going to be researching on different cultures and share their findings with the class. This can allow learners to engage and share their opinions. As a result, learners will have a deep understanding in other cultures. My other example will be cultural navigator. This is where the teacher can organize events such as Cultural Day, where students are able to express themselves in a cultural way. Seeing a student wearing for his or her culture can arouse interest in learners to want to know more about that culture. Furthermore, these examples can be implemented to create a diverse classroom environment. I'd like to call upon Mr. Gumede to sum up.
Thank you, Ms. Ngobeni, and colleagues for participating. To sum up everything that has been said, that embracing diversity is not only a moral imperative, but a pedagogical necessity in the 21st century, where teachers play a vital role or important role in promoting inclusivity, empathy, and social cohesion. As we move forward, let us recognize the power of diversity and the importance of creating inclusive learning environment. Let us strive to be agents of change, fostering more just and equitable society for all. Mind you, together we move South Africa forward. Thank you for the opportunity and your presence. Thank you.